Hi everybody, this is Camden Boats. Welcome to another episode of Steel Ocean. This episode is going to be a tutorial though, not a gameplay episode. I've had quite a few questions on different aspects of the game, so I thought rather than just do a tutorial on each of those, I would just do one big tutorial on the basics of the game. And a little bit of advanced stuff, but not much. I want to talk about the ship types and their roles, the barracks and the commanders and their roles and how to select them and all that. And we'll discuss a little bit about targeting and engagements of ships with torpedoes and artillery guns, dive bombers and torpedo planes. So the first thing I want to talk about is ship types and their role. So a destroyer, for example, their main mission should be to spot the enemy fleet. So you should get ahead of your fleet and go spot enemy ships. Okay, that doesn't mean that you have a better scouting range. You don't have a better radar than other ships. In fact, this Tier 5 destroyer, the Porter, has less scouting range than the Nevada. The Porter has 4,817 meters. The Nevada has 4,985 meters. So 180, almost 180 meters more scouting range on the battleship. But the thing is, the destroyer is very fast, very maneuverable, and can get up there quick. So you should be at the front of the line with your fleet. That doesn't mean that you have to leave your fleet in the dust and go way ahead and go ham-bone into the enemy fleet. You'll get killed. But it does mean stay ahead of the fleet. You know, if you're in a convoy, stay at the head of the convoy. Keeping that in mind, you should also pay attention to where your fleet is going. You can tell them in chat, hey, I'm going to go up the left side or I'm going to go up the right side. But still look behind you and see where your fleet's going. They may not be following you. Maybe they don't pay attention to the chat, or perhaps they don't care what you have to say. But if they're going left and you're going right, you should turn around and go left and stay ahead of the fleet. Your chances of survival will increase dramatically if you've got backup. Second mission of the destroyer is to hunt the subs. Okay, you have torpedoes and you have depth charges. And if they surface, you've still got your artillery guns that can decimate a sub. So, and then of course you always got the honor ramming. I don't even know why they call it honor ramming, because to me, if you're a ship and you just ram another ship to kill it, it's not really honorable. To me, an honor ramming would be you're down on health and you commit suicide to hopefully either put a tremendous amount of damage on a ship, on the enemy ship, or you kill it. You kill it with you. To me, that's an honor ramming. But the fact that the game allows a ship to ram a sub and do very little damage to yourself, but destroy the sub, I think that's kind of needs to be fixed, probably. But I will still exploit it because other people do, and like I said, it's in the game. It's not that I'm cheating. It's just that's the way the game operates right now. Thirdly, if there's no subs to go after, or perhaps you're in a position where there's just a lot of battleships, toy with them. You know, do figure eights, do circles, do zigzags. If you've got smoke, use the smoke and maybe try to get closer to the battleship to put some torpedoes on them. But the main thing, you want to stay up close to those guys so that your fleet behind you can spot them, and well, you're spotting them, so they can start shooting at these ships. And your fleet, it increases your chances of winning dramatically if you do that. If you, as soon as you see battleship take off and go the opposite way and leave your fleet behind you, that's not going to do any good to your fleet or even you, really. So just, maneuver around. There's ways to survive. You're pretty hard to hit if you're maneuvering around a lot. unless there's multiple ships shooting at you, then your chances decrease for each ship that's shooting at you. If there's ships there with torpedoes also, then yeah, maybe you might pull back and get back to your fleet. And hopefully you'll suck some of their fleet, the enemy fleet, towards you, so that now they're getting barraged with artillery hits. But just something to keep in mind. Toy with them. So that moves on to the cruisers. The light cruiser is similar to the destroyer in the sense that you're fast, you've got torpedoes, a lot of them have depth charges. The difference here would be the spotting aspect. I would not use the light cruiser to get way up there. If there's destroyers with you, let them be ahead of you, and you kind of just help protect the destroyer. Because you're very easy to hit in a light cruiser, and you'll get killed very easily. But you've got great firepower, you've got torpedoes, and you've got depth charges to go after submarines. So your first mission should be going after those destroyers. So if the enemy destroyer is spotting for their fleet, you should be going after that destroyer like crazy. Destroy that destroyer so that the spotting capabilities are diminished on the enemy fleet. Secondly, now you can go after subs if necessary, because again, you have torpedoes and you have depth charges. But you got to be careful, because if you get close to a sub, you're being spotted by the enemy fleet, and they might have battleships in range that can shoot at you, and again, you're very easy to hit compared to destroyers. So just keep that in mind. Heavy cruisers. So heavy cruisers to me are a lot like the battleship. I keep them in the back and just lay barrage fire on ships that are being spotted by my fleet, my destroyers and my subs and my cruisers. Then I just protect them that way. And that's about it for the heavy cruiser. The battleships. So the battleships, I use them. Typically I will not go after a sub. Perhaps they pop up way out there. I might or I might not lay down barrage, but my main focus is going after the cruisers and the aircraft carriers and other battleships, because they're the easier ones to hit, because they're bigger. Now, destroyers I typically won't go after unless they get up close. Then my whole focus becomes the destroyer, because you'll decimate a destroyer if you get good hits on it. The problem is, at a distance, they're harder to gauge, because you might have a good line on them and you might have a good lead on them, but then they turn all of a sudden, and now you're out for however many seconds it takes to reload. That typically is not the case when you're shooting at cruisers or battleships, and definitely aircraft carriers. So those are the things you want to go after. But sometimes you gotta lay your fire down on the subs and on the destroyers. They should not be your primary targets. My main goal when I'm in a sub is to try to get behind the enemy fleet. But if the enemy fleet has moved up quickly onto our fleet, then obviously that plan goes out the window, and now you just engage any ships that you can. Okay, that's it. That's the main function. If you've got a clear way to get around and get behind the fleet, the enemy fleet, great. If not, then just target any ships that are in your way. The carriers, probably the hardest ship, and the reason being, there's so much that's going on with carrier. When you're in that overview for your planes, you got to pay attention to where your planes are. You got to pay attention to your ship. You got to pay attention to anti-aircraft. If the enemy aircraft are coming over you, you got to pay attention to your own fleet and move with them slowly, or not get rammed or hit them, you know. So a lot going on there. All I can say with the aircraft carrier is just practice it. Play it and just practice. Practice, practice. The thing with the torpedo bombers, you got to remember, is the torpedoes are much faster. They're 2 or 3 times faster than ship torpedoes. Okay, so you don't need to lead them nearly as much. And they are kind of easy to dodge if you're a sub or a destroyer or a cruiser even. Battleships have a little harder time, and aircraft carriers have a hard time. But you got to pay attention to the arrow. So the arrow has the light blue line, and then it turns into a green line for your targeting. If it's not in the green, it will not arm and it will not destroy the ship. It'll just hit the ship and do nothing. It doesn't do any damage. That's the difficult part, is you want to launch your torpedoes at the last possible second that you can from a torpedo plane. But at the same time, you got to be careful, because if they turn into it, then it's not going to arm. So just something to keep in mind. So let's talk about targeting. First of all, if you're attacking a large ship like a battleship, and you're a small ship like a destroyer, use that smoke to your advantage. Give yourself a lead of smoke to get closer to that target, because your artillery guns are going to do no good against a battleship unless they're way down on a hill. So lead the battleship with the torpedoes. I typically use the left side of those hash marks, the horizontal hash marks, as my lead. And then I'll fire a few behind him also, just in case he decides to stop or back up. So in this case, he continues to go full speed, which you can tell by his wake. And all 4 torpedoes hit him. Now, it doesn't kill him, but it does bring him down so far in health, and he's not on fire. I know there's fire there, but he's not on fire. He's not taking on fire damage. So here, with the artillery guns, you want to give a decent lead. Here's a cruiser, for example, which is about the same speed as a battleship or a destroyer, a little bit slower. So the big thing you want to make sure you do is bring your targeting where you want to place it. So give it a good lead, but don't continue leading. Just get it to where you want to put it, and then fire. Don't move and fire at the same time, because you will decrease the accuracy of the weapon. So I'm going to lead them where I want to put it. I stop, I fire, and we get 2 good hits. I put it where I want it, and I fire. 2 more good hits. I lead it, I fire, and there we go, we killed him. So just make sure that you don't move and fire at the same time. The only time that would happen is if you're in close engagements and you're trying to just do zigzag maneuvers or whatever, and you're just trying to put fire down just in case. You might hit them, you never know. But if you're just doing targeting, don't do it. So when in a sub and you're using your torpedoes, you want to give a really good lead. Here's a cruiser coming in. I'm going to lead pretty far ahead. I give about double the hash marks, the HUD hash marks. I give it double lead. And all 3 of these, he can't stop in time. I fire 1 behind just in case it doesn't destroy him. In this case, it does. But that's how you lead with your torpedoes. So with your torpedo planes on a carrier, the torpedoes move much faster, about 2 to 3 times faster than surface ship torpedoes. So you want to give less of a lead, and pay attention to that green arrow, because that's where you want the target to be within range of, so that they arm in time. And there we go. So just less of a lead. It's the same thing as targeting with a sub, but less of a lead, and you want to drop them at the last second if you can, because of the anti-aircraft. So with dive bombers off the aircraft carrier, all I do is I just follow the ship and just give a little bit of a lead depending on its speed. And we get good hits, but they don't do a lot of damage. So dive bombers, my advice is only use them on close targets and save them for like targets that are way down in health, so that you increase the chances of them taking out the ship. Otherwise, dive bombers, they're very slow. Like I said, they don't do a lot of damage. You're better off, or if you're out of torpedo bombers, I guess that's another time you might use your dive bombers. Other than that, I would just use my torpedo bombers and use my fighters to defend those torpedo bombers and even your scouts. So let's talk about commanders now. Commanders give you traits or special skills that will buff your ship's stats up, right? They might decrease torpedo launch time or reloading time, or perhaps they increase your chances of artillery hitting a ship or accuracy. Different skills for each commander. And some skills are special to what slot they're put in. So if we go into barracks, there's 5 different slots. There's the captain slot, the gunner slot, the steersman slot, comms, and engineer. So some of these guys, this guy for example, the only way I can use the captain or use fleet crew's skill is if he's in the captain slot. Otherwise, he loses that skill. Others don't have any special... Oh, this guy too has a captain, if you notice at the top. So I can only use Wolfpack if he's the captain. But for me, the captain I have on this particular ship is better than this captain. But this guy has good... his torpedo speed is increased by 2%, and his maximum speed is increased by 1 knot. So I put him on my sub. And then as he gets leveled up, he's a level 3 right now. The second skill down is Deep Breaths. So when he becomes a level 4, which he's almost there, he's about 6,000 experience away, then he'll unlock that skill, and that will apply to my ship. So that's basically what the commanders do. They just boost your stats for your ship, and the only way to level them up is by using them on a ship. So these 5 guys, every time I play, I have the, hold on, let me, okay, here. These 5 guys, every time I play with the independents in a match, if the better I do, the more points, the more experience these guys get, and they level up to unlock more skills. If you have a ship that is fully upgraded, which is like this, you notice the symbol in the right corner of this menu. It's got the diamond. That means it's a destroyer, but below that is the gold leaf with the 2 gold swords. That means it's fully upgraded. You can convert, instead of getting ship XP, you can convert that into getting more commander XP. So when you get a victory with the Caldwell, for example, if I was to play this and I got a victory and was awarded the 3-time first victory of the day experience, all the ship XP that I earned, 1/5 of that would be converted into commander XP and would be added to the commander XP that I earned for that match also. So it's the way you do that is if you have a ship that's fully upgraded, like here, you'll notice up here where it says quick training, I can't click that. That's because it's not fully upgraded. I come to my fully upgraded ship, I can click it on or off. And if you click it on, it'll say your ship XP will be transferred to the commander. Are you sure you want to accelerate your training? I click OK. It makes no sense to earn ship XP on a ship that's already fully upgraded Yeah, you can earn some exchange XP, which you can convert to other ships, use on any ship, but it's very little. So it's better if you convert it to Commander XP so that you can quickly gain levels on your commanders. Because all these commanders, you know, I use these commanders on other ships, so that just makes it much faster to upgrade those commanders. That's why I don't necessarily sell every ship as I upgrade. I will keep some. Now, there's 3 different ways to earn commanders. You can buy them with gold, or buy them with merit, or play different, or complete different events. So if we go into the events tab, there's different events going on, and you don't have to select the event. The event just plays. So it tells you right here, game release reward is in progress. That means that if I, all I have to do is participate in a match and win, and then I will get these rewards. Ship experience multiplier bonus 2, global experience multiplier bonus 2, and commander experience multiplier bonus 2. So right there you see the commander experience multiplier. So those apply to your commanders that are on whatever ship you play on. And that's a daily reward. So let's go to one that's not a daily. Here's a weekly one. The Renowned, which we haven't gone into, but if you win 15 match battles during the week, then you'll get 540 merit. Okay, so that's how you can also earn merit. Some of the events, you can actually earn a commander. So that's why I said that's a third way. It's the less common way to get it. Usually you get them by earning merit, which you earn by completing events or quests, whichever one you want to call it. And the way you play the events is you just accomplish whatever. Oh, here's one. So if I obtain a submarine of research level 5 or above, then I will get Eric Raider, and I get 720 merit. So that's an example of how to earn a commander. Typically, you earn merit or battle items when you complete these events. But like I said, you don't have to select the event. You just play regular matches. That's all you have to do. So to use the merit, I've got 1800 merit. If I go over here and I say recruit a commander, left clicked on recruit a commander. Now it brings up this, and I can choose. You see here, cost gold, silver, merit. So you see you can buy different things with gold if you want. So I never buy things with gold, so I'm going to shut that off. Now you can buy things with merit. There's nothing to buy with silver, so I don't even know why they have that on there. But this is the cost of whatever these things are. So if I want to buy one commander, it selects a random commander for 180 merit. Or the one I usually do is this one, because it grants 10 commanders, is the 1800. Once I get to 1800 merit, then I'll select this one. It'll give me 10 commanders at random. Sometimes you get ones that you already have, but like I said, or I haven't said yet, but we're going to talk about, they stack to be able to level up your commander. Okay, so it tells you which ones you own already of the rare commanders that you can buy. You can also do that. You could, like, I don't have this guy. Joachim Shepke or Shepk, I don't know. So I could buy this guy if I wanted to, but like I said, I usually just do this one. So if we go in here, it tells you your quantity, which we only have 1800, so we can only buy one. We buy it, and then it starts going through the multi-lucky draws, and these are the guys that we're getting. And some of these guys I already recognize that I have. Well, right there we got 2 guys that we already have. But we get 10 guys here, so it increases your chances of getting a rare one, which in this case we did not get a rare. Yeah, we didn't get any rare commanders. We got auto, which I already have. But yeah, whatever. So it gave us 120 new qualification. That's what you use. You use the qualification to promote your commanders that you have. Okay, and it takes a lot. So right now I have a total of 140. So if we go back into barracks and we go to promotion, so if I put a guy up here, now this guy can only degrade, which means you take away his rarity. That way you can recycle some of this qualification so that you can maybe promote a different officer that you want to promote. But look how much it costs. 480,000 to degrade a guy, and you're only gonna recycle some of that qualification. So it's really not worth it to degrade, as far as I know. But it's gonna cost me 1,000 qualification before I can promote this guy, and I only have 140. So as soon as I get up to 1,000, I can promote this guy if I want, and he'll go to the next rarity. The more rare they are, the more skills they'll have. You can switch out these guys if you want by either recruiting a commander through the merit, which we just did, or select a new commander. And I could put them in there, so I'd have to select that ship, which was the Independence, and then I could replace them. I just go like that, and then it replaces them. Maintenance. Click the auto repair, the silver item auto resupply, and the silver item auto supply on battle item resupply. If you don't want to have to do that every time you play. So after each match, if you don't have those checked, you would have to do it yourself. I check them. I don't check the gold item auto resupply on either the ammo resupply or the battle item resupply, because obviously I don't want to use gold on those things. But that's just me. Okay, so the last thing I want to tell you guys about is researching and giving your ship the best ability possible through the equipment that you can purchase for a ship. So the first 12 boxes are actual items that are on a ship, and you can upgrade through research. So if you hit the research tab or the tech tree tab, you can see the items that you can upgrade. And to upgrade them, you just use your ship experience, or if you don't have enough ship experience, your ship experience and your global experience. If you don't have enough of those, then you can use gold to exchange for more exchange EXP or global EXP, and use that to upgrade or to research a new ship. But it's totally up to you how you want to do that. When you have enough XP, then you just click on the item you want to research, and then you have to purchase it with silver to install the item onto the ship. That's all there is to that. Then the next thing you can do, and you should do this as soon as you get a ship, these next 3 boxes are special equipment, and you got anything from a rangefinder all the way down to a chain loader, depending on what type of ship you have. I mean, obviously you wouldn't use a chain loader, which decreases torpedo reloading time on a battleship, for example. the main ones I like to use are the rangefinder, the fuel filter, and the gyroscope. The rangefinder gives me an extended scouting range of 400 meters. The fuel filter increases my engine durability by 50%, and the gyroscope reduces the influence of steering on artillery accuracy by 25%, which is really important because if you're trying to zigzag and stuff, and you're just trying to get away because maybe you just walked into the enemy fleet and there's 5 ships after you, it's really important to continue to be able to zigzag or do figure eights, whatever you got to do to stay away. But it's also good to continuously lay down fire on these ships, because who knows, it might be the difference between them being able to hit you or not hit you. So that's really important to have, and this makes a great piece of equipment to be able to do that. The next 3 boxes are battle items. And so on this ship I have an advanced extinguisher, repair kit, and an advanced smoke bomb. The items that are in gold, so if we go into here, these are items that you either earn through events or you can purchase them with gold. You can't purchase these with silver. But if you don't happen to have any advanced items, you can go in and get just a regular extinguisher. The difference is advanced extinguishers instantly extinguishes the fires, whereas an extinguisher extinguishes a ship's fires 15 seconds after use. So you're still going to take damage for 15 seconds after you use it from a fire. And so that's the only difference. But these battle items are important to use because they help out greatly when you're in a battle. I've been up against 1-on-3, right? Just me and 3 other ships because the rest of my fleet died. And these items, the fire extinguisher, the repair kit, especially the repair kit and the smoke, helped me to still win that match. Because even though they were damaging me, I was able to repair these parts that kept me in the game and kept me being able to shoot at them and steer and be fast. So it's very important to use those in the match. The last thing is the paint and the flags. Flags just reduce, they give you recovery time. Big deal. The camouflage, okay, I can understand people wanting to use it because it does delay the discovery time. You are disguised plus 300, so enemy ships don't detect you quite as fast. But I've found that it's not a great big help, in my opinion. But if you want it, do it. You can buy a 7-day. Every 7 days you would have to buy it with silver, or if you want permanent, you can use gold. But it's only permanent for that ship. It's not permanent like you have that for any ship. So it's kind of useless to use the gold, in my opinion. If you're going to do it, I would use the silver. But anyway, I think that's about it, guys. If there's anything that I left out that you really want to know, shoot me a message or a comment on my video, and I will either do another tutorial if I think it's a big enough issue, or I might just help you out if I can on the comments. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and until next time, see you, bye.